Did you ever get suspended?
No.
I got suspended twice.
Oh my god, I have never
year.
had a bad note, no bad marks, no detention. Just saying.
Get out, so yeah, get out. April.
Bye! Hi guys! Hi!
Come on. Okay.
Let go.
Okay, let's go. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a very special guest. Her name is April. Introduce yourself.
Hi guys, my name is April Lamai.
April is my cousin. Can't you see the resemblance?
Oh yes.
You get your cuteness from me.
I do.
I love her. She agrees with me. I love her. She agrees with everything I say. When you know someone from Nigeria, they are your cousin. I have known April since she was a baby.
Yeah.
Cousin. So guys, today we're doing some girl
talk.
talk. So we're doing some girl talk today. And basically we're just going to be covering all the bases. This video is going to have two parts, and today we're filming part one. We're in our pajamas because this is girl talk, so we want it to be like comfortable. I know that a lot of you guys that watch me are teenagers and stuff, and I feel like growing up there's certain things that are never said, there's certain advice that you just never get. People just tell you what to do and what not to do, and I feel like that's why I wanted to film this video and get somebody that's a teenager like April to come in and, you know, be the voice for you guys as well. So we have a list of things here to talk about. We're going to talk about trends in secondary school. We're going to talk about friendships, like who we're still friends with, who we're not friends with. Boys, we're going to talk about staying away from boys. That's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about the pressures to have a boyfriend when you're young and things like that. And we're going to talk about consent, okay? And then we're going to talk about abusive relationships at a young age, because these things do happen. And I feel like when people talk about like these kind of things, they talk about them from an adult's point of view, and I feel like it's very important for these issues to be discussed amongst younger people. I know it's kind of normal to make mistakes. It's very, very normal. That's how we learn and that's how we improve, and I definitely embrace making mistakes. Exactly. But I feel like if you can, like, you know, skip a few of them, why not? You know? Exactly.
Learn from others' mistakes.
Exactly. So we're gonna start by sharing our secondary school experience. Okay, let's go.
Let's go.
Do you want to go first?
Sure. While I was in secondary school, I was a goody two shoes. I didn't really follow trends, if I'm being honest. Some trends I did follow, but the majority of them, some were just really ridiculous that I just did not follow them. Like trends, for example, were like we had little 2-pack hairbands and we'd wrap them around our head and we'd walk around the way Tupac used to wear his.
The rapper?
And, yeah, the rapper.
Oh my gosh.
And all the girls would buy them. Like they sold them in our school, and then they'd all buy them for like €1, and then all the girls would like wear them.
Did you guys listen to Tupac while wearing those bands?
I didn't.
What people did?
Maybe, I don't know.
Me growing up, trends were pastries.
Oh my god.
They were like, I can't believe that I even bought, like, it was always, oh, you had to have this, you had to have that.
Then they like trends would just like quickly move on and you know,
exactly,
the next thing and then the next thing, and then you just wasted your money. With trends, I'd be like the last person to get the thing, and then by the time I'd gotten it, everyone else had moved on.
And then posing like this.
Oh my god.
Why did I do it?
Doing that
why?
Everywhere. Everyone did it, even boys too.
And we looked absolutely ridiculous. Don't do these things. The fish face is still like cringy. Huh? And I still do it. Because, listen, Kim Kardashian does it. It's acceptable. Do your signature pose.
I think if I want to smile, I'll do this. But if I want to like not smile, I'll do this.
I do the tilted head. Having a BlackBerry, like
that was
having
literally, you had to have a BlackBerry phone.
Look at my friends, they're flaunting BlackBerry phones as if I'm the worst hit by poverty.
If you didn't, then there is no point.
That is one thing that it took me so long to get one.
Tell that of Colorhead that she should wait and see if I will not come back and scatter her face with my own BlackBerry phone.
BlackBerry.
Whatever.
The same.
It was a struggle to get
literally.
one. I feel like after I got it, that's when it went. Like
Same.
It went.
Oh my! I got a white one. I was so happy, and then by the time I got one, that was when the iPhone was coming in. I was like,
and then you're like,
no.
oh, now iPhone hunts. You have to learn to like differentiate what trends are good for you and what aren't.
People actually can't even afford some things and feel under pressure.
Don't go out of your way to get things because you want to fit in. Because like in all those movies that you see and in real life, this is happening where people will go and they will steal just to look like their friend. They will like lie, they will form, they'll be like, oh my gosh,
be something you're not. Literally, that's
they'll
what
be like, oh my gosh, I'm buying the new iPhone, things like that. And then you just be like, seriously?
No, but just they make some unnecessary for me.
Learning to develop and think for yourself is very important at a young age. You just have to practice it, because whatever foundation you set as a teenager is what follows you into adulthood. Things don't get easier in life. It just gets more complicated, you know. So that's something that you should know. Okay, so friendships. I'll go first with friendships, okay? So, friendships for me in secondary school. Well, first of all, I was friends with the bad group first, okay? But they weren't really the bad group, because bear in mind, this is a school of girls, okay? So they were just the bitchy group, yeah? So I was friends with the mean girls, you know, that kind of thing. And in order to be friends, you had to be mean to other people. So I used to, you know, roll with them, because rolling with them was safe, you know? Safe. Like, after first year, my grades suffered really badly. So that summer, I just went home and I just reevaluated my whole existence. I would lie. Like, I reevaluated my whole life. I came back, yeah? You know when I came back?
Oh, God.
You see my book? It was like this. I was like, I was a good teacher. See that teacher that I used to form for, yeah? I used to form for and get kicked out. When she says, by the time she turns around, yeah, I've just stopped talking. I wasn't getting kicked out. I don't like to play the race card. Yeah. Sometimes I'll just think, you know what, maybe it's the content of my character. Yeah. You know?
Content of my character.
That was Martin Luther King. Just some research.
I need to check that out.
Yeah. If somebody doesn't like me, maybe they just don't like me. I don't like to play the race card so quick, but with that teacher, it could have been that, because I was the only black girl in all my classes ever.
It's just, you just want someone else there that's the same race, at least. Not even the same country as you, at least the same race, so you can kind of relate with them. There was a black girl in my secondary school. Her name was Sharon, but she left. So I was the only one left there.
I know Sharon. Yeah. I know Sharon. She's
Hi Sharon,
lovely.
if you're watching.
Hi Sharon. When they're teaching anything like black history related, the whole class
will just stare,
and you're just on your own, and then
you
people
feel it, you know they're looking at you,
and then people ask you, what is it like to be black?
How does it feel? When I first came to Ireland, and I came from England, I was the first black girl to be in my primary school ever. I was 6. It's like they had never seen a black girl before in their life, and they were so shocked. I remember one girl pointed at me like, what? And she said, what is that? And I was like, oh,
I think that happened to me as well.
They circled me like I was an animal, and they were just there looking, and I'm just there like, have you never seen a black person before? I was literally, I made history.
Funnily enough, they might not have, because if you go to those towns in the middle of nowhere, when we first came to Ireland, like me and my family, like in 2001, there was this like little village called Ross Square or something. Ross Square. Literally, we were the first black people to ever live there. It was like, we only see them on TV. Ireland is still developing.
Yeah, it's still trying to accept different cultures.
It's so different from England. If you're watching this in England, it's so different. In England,
enjoying life.
In England, like there's
there's different nationalities, there's different people, ethnic groups, whereas in Ireland they're just starting to develop, like.
Yeah, so that's what we're trying to say. I just want to say that if you're the only black girl in your class, just hang in there.
Oh, please hang in there.
Hang in there.
You're not the only one. We went through it.
I know
your pain. We feel
I know
your
the
pain.
feeling, because I was the only black girl. Like, it wasn't nice.
Same.
And this girl annoyed me or something, and I just said something to her. I was like, oh, maybe I might have used the F word. Okay, I don't curse anymore. I don't like I do curse. Okay, so maybe I might have used, like, you know, I might have been like, oh, leave me alone, whatever. And I was walking home, and then she just goes, O-U-N. And then I remember I reported her, and then a family came to the school, and then she was crying because her parents were like, oh, we taught her better than this, and all this. They were like, that's what they all say, but it's not true. Hang in there. Yeah. Ignore anything negative that's said to you. Your main focus is to get an education. Let me just tell you one thing. People that I was in school with, like, I would probably speak to like 3 of them.
Yeah, that's the same.
Out of a class of 30
2
girls, 3.
For me.
I'm on good terms with people, but I'm not friends with any of them. Like, you have to just remember that you will not be friends with these people in a few years.
So don't take it to heart.
Don't take it to heart. You will see them working in places, and you will say, hi, how has life been? Bye. Oh, you had a baby. That's lovely. A lot of them are like, they have boyfriends, they have babies, they're starting families. You just see them and you just say, oh, I'm happy for you.
Yeah.
Things like that. And that's it. That's how life is. And you keep it pushing. There's no need to feel down. Don't even shed a tear.
Yeah, and
don't, like, I'm telling you this because there was times when, like, I would go home and I would, like, sob my eyes out. I would sob. This was when I was still weak, because now, man's strong.
It makes you stronger. For me, like, I would say, don't even lose your value. Don't think that you're less than what they are. You are not less than them, even though they may try and make you feel less, just because you're different. And it's something that you can't change. You can't change your race. You can't change your colour. Always carry yourself with high value. You know, it's all about how you perceive yourself, not how they perceive you.
Exactly. Boys. Now, as me and April have said, we both didn't have boys in our classes in secondary school.
Yes.
So that one is there. So in secondary school we never had boys, so that was good. But there was, like, always boys' schools close by.
Yeah.
But we'd only see them at lunchtime. They were never in our classes.
I never saw them at lunchtime.
So how do you feel, like, not having guys in your class? How did that affect your confidence?
For me, I enjoy the fact that I didn't have to wear makeup. I didn't have to impress anybody, because I felt like if they would have been there, I would have felt so self-conscious about myself and would have wanted to wear makeup and curl my hair unnecessarily. But also, a bad part to it is I feel now that I'm in university, it's harder to connect with boys and grown men, because they are men now if they're in university. I feel like it's harder to kind of, like, relate to them, whereas girls who had boys in their secondary school and primary school, they're way more confident. Yeah, they're used to boys and men being around them, whereas with girls who are, you know, in all girls schools, we just have to learn how to get how they joke, to understand their sense of humor, to understand, you know, just different things about them, because they're different. Like, boys and girls are not the same. They are different, so it takes a while to get used to it.
Definitely, I can definitely agree with that. You don't know how to socialize with guys when you, like, this is just my own opinion. Like, I personally, like, you don't really know what to say to them. Like, at first, you get used to it after a while, because going into uni was weird having guys there.
Same.
You know, because it's like we came from the nunnery or something.
Exactly. It's just like, oh my god, men.
But, like, I know I say stuff like, oh yeah, I was the bad egg in first year, but after that I was the good egg, I was the goody two shoes, like, studying all night. My mom would be like, get up and go to bed, because it'd be 4 a.m. she'd be like, you need to sleep.
Still studying.
Not having any guys in a class has its pros and has its cons. And the pros are that you can go to school with no makeup on. You don't have to think about foundation. You don't have to think about contour. No highlight. There wasn't even contour or highlight then. There wasn't even contour or highlight. You just had to go and just look around.
Fix your book.
Like, I have some pictures of myself in cornrows. You're just gonna laugh if I show
gosh.
you too. Did you feel like you had to have a boyfriend when you were in secondary school? Because I feel like in my class, everyone was like, oh, who you wish?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Did you meet anyone? Things like that.
Initially, when I was in first year and second year, I felt extreme pressure to get a boyfriend. But it just didn't work out. Like, I was being something that I wasn't allowed one, you know, and my parents made it so, like, they made it evident that I was not allowed one, and every time I would try get one, they would find out and I'd get in trouble. So they'd always find out, and after a while, like in second year, I was like, do you know what, I just give up until I'm actually allowed to have one, then I will have one. Guys,
I'm the opposite of that. I probably wasn't allowed a boyfriend, but I never wanted a boyfriend. Really? I was that person, yeah. Wow. I was that girl in the class that didn't want a boyfriend. I just wanted to focus on my work. Like, really? I would go to parties and I would run away from boys. I think that's what I was talking about the scarring of going to an all-girls school. Yeah. Like, I just didn't know, I was growing up, I didn't know how to interact with boys. Yeah. So I just ran away from boys. I always had that, like, that thought that when you're in a relationship at such a young age, at 15, 14, chances are like you're gonna break up in a month or two. So I used to think that I don't like to waste my time. That's how I used to think.
That was like me as well.
So I never like fell for that pressure. Like, people would be like, oh, are you a frigid?
Oh,
like,
my God, being a
frigid means you've never like kissed anyone.
I think for me it was the pressure that other girls would put other girls through. Have you done this? Have you done this? Have you done this? Yeah, I did this. And how come you haven't done this? Oh my God, you're in second year and haven't done this.
I remember, I think one time in second year, I won't lie, I pretended I had a boyfriend, you know?
Oh yeah, same.
Did you?
Same.
I fully pretended I had a boyfriend. He had a name. His name was David.
The pressure you're in, you just make, even though like when you're in conversation, like you don't want to be the odd one out. You really don't, because you're already odd. The skin color is already a boundary. So you just want to continue and fit in. And we don't have to lie, but some of us choose to lie just to fit in. But later on, as you mature, you see that there's no point. You just kind of accept who you are as you grow. I definitely felt that pressure at the start, but I definitely always had my own mind when it came to those kind of things. Yeah, exactly. Like, girls would come in and be like, oh, me and him, we did this, me and him, we did that. Me, I just be there sipping on my tea. It's just so much easier to just come and just lie, because they're not gonna know. Exactly. But you shouldn't. Like, I'm not saying you should lie. But some girls investigate. No, not in my class. I don't think my class, they were some girls just wanted to catch me out. Like, they were really mean to me. Really. Some girls are just evil. Like, it's just the way girls are. If you have a group of 30 girls, you're gonna have some higgy haga characters in those like people. So that's just the way it is. It's perfectly normal. Did you ever get suspended? No. I got suspended twice. Oh my God. I have never had a bad note, no bad marks, no detention. Just saying. Get out, so yeah, get out. April. Bye. Making me look bad. Sus. Right. So, what else? Okay, so let's focus more on the pressure, okay? Now, we've established that there's pressure, okay? So I'm not gonna come here and tell you, if you stand next to a guy, you get pregnant. No, I'm not gonna like tell you that, although if you stand next to a guy, you may get pregnant. You know? Because of these pressures, a lot of you guys make like decisions that you shouldn't make. You do things that you shouldn't be doing at a particular age. There's things you should definitely not be up to. Stay away. What are you holding a boy's hand for at the age of 14, please? Like, what do you know? What's the boyfriend when you're 13, 14? What's his young. Boyfriend? You're still growing like, at that age. 15. Even 15. I don't understand how they can 16. Get in serious relationships at that age. Like, I'm not gonna like patronize like younger people and say that, oh, it's not serious, because at this age you're gonna believe that you know what you're doing, even though you're still growing, you know? Because when you're 15, 16, 14, 15, 16, you're more likely to be manipulated by someone that's older. Okay? Now this is where consent comes in, okay? When you're dealing with the opposite sex, you have to understand
that you have to give consent
It's
for
needed.
anything to happen, okay? If you are with a boy and he takes you somewhere, or I don't know, or you guys are doing whatever you're doing, if you say no, what does no mean, April?
No means no.
No means no, okay? No matter what stage you are of whatever you're up to, which you shouldn't be up to, okay? No means no. Like
I study law, and I recently learned new information which I did not even know. If you are sleeping with somebody, let's say he's your partner, let's say he's, you know, you're married to the person. If you are sleeping with each other and in the middle of sleeping with each other you decide to not continue, let's say you don't want to do it, you can say no. And if the opposite sex, the person continues and forces you to continue because you jumped right into it, that's considered as rape. So, you know, you need to know, like, that's the law. Like, that's not made up in some book. If you don't want to do it and you tap out afterwards in the middle of doing it, you have the right to do so. It's all about consent.
if you don't give consent at any stage, that is considered rape.
Yeah.
Just because you didn't physically stop them doesn't mean you gave them permission or gave them consent.
Let's say you say no and the person is stronger than you and continues the act anyway, and you're not fighting them off. Don't feel like you're in the wrong. You're not fighting them off because you can't fight them off. You can still press charges. I think that's an important thing to say, because, you know, the man can say, yeah, but you didn't say, you weren't screaming no, you weren't, you know, hassling me, you weren't trying to get off, you weren't trying to escape. That does not matter. If you let them know that you said no initially and then you give in because you actually can't fight them off, you still can press charges.
And that is still considered rape.
Exactly.
And a lot of girls, the reason that why I'm mentioning this, like with April, to you guys, is because a lot of girls don't know that they've been raped before. Like,
a lot of things, it can be just, you know, if somebody is hassling you and, you know, kissing you where you don't want, you know, penetration of objects.
that's sexual assault.
It's not just, you know, sleeping with them. That's another thing you should remember.
So you guys, please, please, please take care of yourselves. These girls on YouTube called The Life from Layfield Girls.
Yeah.
And then she goes, I have a right to my body. I have a right to what I want to do with my passoir. I like that word, passoir. Like, basically, you have a right to what you want to do with yourself.
Exactly.
You own every bit of this body that God gave you, okay? So if you want to say no, like, say no, walk away, do whatever you can, you know? And the most important advice I'd ever give you is don't put yourself in those situations in the first place.
Exactly.
And if you do want to do certain things with your body, which you shouldn't be doing like until you're married, I will just put that there. You shouldn't do it until you're married. If you want to do those things, which you should not be doing at your age at all, I will just say, if you're going to do it, go to your GP. There's confidentiality. They're not going to tell your mom. They're not going to tell your dad. Do what you need to do. Go on the pill. Use a condom if you're going to do it. But you really should not be doing these things. A lot of people that have done these things at a young age, like, they've grown to regret it.
Yes.
We all make mistakes. But if you can learn from somebody else's mistakes, do so. Because it saves you a lot of tears, and heartache in the long run. You know?
And communication is the key in order to learn from people's mistakes. If you feel like you have strict parents and you can't talk to them about issues like this, you know, try and find somebody that you can talk to, because if you just jump in the waters without even knowing what you're doing, you're going to regret it. At least find it, you know, talk to somebody about it.
At like a young age, their main concern is, I don't want to get pregnant. But there's HIV. There's so many STIs and STDs that you can get if you don't protect yourself, and you don't want to make silly mistakes at such a young age that will just like affect your whole your whole life. So take care, guys, because these things that people have, you can't tell by looking at them. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, so I'm just gonna leave that topic as that. If you have any questions for me, just leave them in the comment below. And of course, you can always email me if you ever need to. You guys know my email, themissdebdeb@gmail.com. Just email me. I will be happy to advise you on any of these topics to the best of my knowledge. And if I can't, I will definitely get a friend of mine that might have experience in that area to help you, because I know so many girls that have been through so many things.
Exactly. You can email me as well if you'd like. I'll leave my email down below too.
Yeah, I'll leave her email as well, and you can email April.
If you give time about me.
This one here, I've seen happen to a few girls that I know. Personally speaking, abusive relationships. The reason why I want to discuss this one with April here is because at a young age, people don't acknowledge that young people go through abusive relationships. Like, people tend to focus on, oh, she has a boyfriend at an older age, but
like
when you're like
couples, you know, with kids go through domestic abuse, and that's not really the case. Young teenagers do as well.
Samantha was dating this guy for a very, very long time, like maybe 3 years. She started dating him when she was 17. And for those 3 years, after like about 6 months, he started to hit her. He had his own place because he was older, like he was like 23, 24. He lived in a different town, and basically what would happen is that after a while, after the honeymoon phase, you know, that's when the abuse started, where she could say something and he would slap her in front of everybody, like in front of the group of friends, and the guys wouldn't say anything. What? Yeah, they would just be like, oh, you shouldn't do that, and that was it. Things only escalate. That's another thing I want you guys to know. If you take this now, you're gonna take worse later, basically. So things escalate from there. They had a fight. He locked her in the house. He wouldn't let her out, and she would break up with him, give out about him hitting her, but she kept getting back with him. He would cheat on her, then somehow she would still be the one that would get hit. Eventually, after like 3 years of breaking up, she eventually left him. When in an abusive relationship from a young age, it becomes the norm to you. You're actually getting like scarred psychologically without knowing it. Exactly. You don't know it at that age. But then the next guy you're with, you're expecting a slap.
Exactly.
You know,
so
if you get him upset, or if he moves too quickly, you just be like,
flinch,
you know, like that's what has happened to this girl. Like, if she's around people, she just gets really nervous and things like that. She doesn't want to speak out of turn, because it was even sometimes a public physical kind of thing. You know, it's not acceptable for you to be hitting your boyfriend. It's not acceptable for you to be hitting your girlfriend. You should just not be hitting anybody.
I think the thing about it is why like some young girls can't walk away is because they feel like they won't find anyone else. Yeah. And they've actually genuinely developed a love for this person. And
also you might feel like if you've lost something to that person, like maybe you slept with that person and it was the first person you slept with, you might feel like,
a deep connection there.
Yeah, and you might feel like, woe is me, it's the end of the world if I leave this person, nobody else wants me. But you are very, very valuable. Your body is valuable. Everything about you is
valuable and unique. And
you are perfectly and wonderfully made. It says so in the Bible. You know, so walking away is key. It hurts and you might want to cry. In fact, I encourage crying. I tweeted this the other day, by the way. I encourage crying for no reason. In fact, let me start crying now. At least once every few months. Yeah, just sit down and cry. Have a cry. You just feel like a new creature. You know, just cry it all out. Watch a sad movie, just cry. Like, do what you need to do, because when you release, you set yourself free.
You feel so great after the cry.
Freedom.
To learn your worth, and that's not an easy thing to do, funny enough.
Yeah, I know what I've been through.
It's easier said than done when you catch feelings though.
Exactly. When you catch feelings,
it's hard to walk away.
You literally do not know your worth. You just, you know, settle for the person you fall in love with.
If you know in your heart that you're in an abusive relationship, or you know a friend that's in an abusive relationship, get her to get help. And if you yourself, like, find the strength to walk away if you can. Like, if you have to go to the guards, go to the guards. If you have to go to Women's Aid, things like that, there's so many sites where you can get help. Walking away means that even though he didn't value you, he will value the next girl, you know? Exactly.
Yeah, true that.
So
Totally
it
agree.
will, because it will respect you and say, you know what, that girl had the power to walk away from me, knowing that I did all these things to her, and now I know that if I do this to the next girl, she will leave me too.
Exactly.
You know, but if you stay, it will mean that
It's okay. It's alright.
Yeah.
you know, you feel like his behavior is acceptable.
Exactly.
So that's something you need to do, ladies. Don't even do it for yourself. Do it for that person so that they learn that what they're doing is wrong. So I hope you guys kind of learned something,
Yeah.
and I hope this video was useful to you in case you're experiencing any of these things that we've mentioned. And we hope you enjoyed the video and give it a thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
So we hope you enjoyed this, and of course make sure you like and subscribe and turn on your notifications so that you know when I upload. Because we've covered all the growing up experiences.
Yeah.
I've had April here share some of the legal stuff. She's studying law.
Yeah.
April is starting a channel soon,
Yes.
and I'm making her start the channel soon.
Yes. Yeah, I'm
You're
basically
so cute.
I'm
She's so
basically gonna start a
cute.
channel about law.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna make law really simplified and easy for you guys to understand. And so many people do not know their rights. Oh my god, and it really annoys me. So I'm just gonna make law simplified for
And I
people.
absolutely love that you want to do that, because it's so different.
Yeah.
And I love people doing things that are so different and unique. And you're going to be sharing knowledge and wisdom with people. Like, there's some things that, like, even when you told me that thing about the whole
consent.
Yeah. I didn't even know that. So you taught me something.
Yeah.
And I'm how many years older than you? So you can always learn from people, and that's what I always emphasize,
Yeah,
guys.
exactly. They will not be boring. Law is not boring.
Are you gonna do makeup?
I'll think about it.
Okay, do makeup, because you have, she does nice makeup too, so she should do makeup,
Aw,
shouldn't she?
Thank you.
Does nice eye. Yeah, go inside the camera, let them see your eye. Flash eye for them. So guys, that's the end of this video. We will see you guys.
Bye.
Bye. Subscribe.
More than blissful, let's leave that with your heart. Coloring the spectrum, lighting up the dark. Counting time, awake before you sleep.
Hello lovelies, welcome back to my channel. So today I have a very different kind of video for you, and it's all about my pink hair, my deep dyed pink hair.